Shaz Chaudhry, Pep Talk UK, the morning after, the night before, Canelo Saunders, Saunders Canelo, the fight lived up to expectations, and I am joined by a guy that's going to give his view on it, Billy Joe Saunders, power and sparring partner, Tommy Sweet Tea Jacobs. How are you doing, Tommy?
I'm good, thank you, Shaz. Yeah, very well. A little bit tired, as I'm guessing yourself and majority of the boxing world are, but yeah, doing very well.
Big fight last night, 73,000 plus in attendance. Billy Joe walks out to a chorus of boos, as we expected from his friends in Mexico, in Dallas, the Mexicans. How did you think he performed during the fight?
To be honest, I think Bill done himself and everyone else proud. He performed very, very well. I think a lot of people beforehand were sort of writing it off, and it was going to be a bit of a one-sided affair, but it wasn't. That was a very, very competitive fight, and until the stoppage, like it was still up for grabs. The fight was still up for grabs, and I had Bill winning on my scorecard. I was scoring it. I had Bill winning. Yeah, I'm his power, maybe looking a bit through rose-tinted glasses, or perhaps maybe it's just because the style that I prefer, that sort of hit and don't get hit. Canelo definitely landing more substantial shots, but I think Bill was landing more of the scoring shots for me. Don't get me wrong, I think Canelo was sort of warming to the fight a little bit, but it wasn't one-sided at all. Like I say, I had Bill winning, and a very competitive, close fight, as you can tell by all the socials and all that. I'm arguing with people all night on Twitter about it, and like an idiot, I can't help myself. But I'm seeing people saying the sport.
Yeah, I stayed off socials. I can't be dealing with everyone that night. Have you seen what the judges' scorecards were?
I saw the judges' scorecards, yeah. And that's
up by what, 78-74. Two of them had it 78-74, and one of them had it 77-75. 2 rounds. So it was close. Yeah. I had it 1 round. I had it either a draw or 1 round to either of them. You could give it to Canelo or you could give it BJS. But it was a competitive fight, and I think Billy Joe's done himself proud. Everyone, people think he's going to get sparked out, weren't they, early doors?
Oh, 100%. And do you know what? I see a post from my coach this morning, who's also Bill's coach in the amateurs when he went to the Olympics, and he said something, and I didn't even actually think about it last night. But in that 8th round, once you could tell, like everyone could see Bill was hurt, and you could see Canelo putting his arms up to the crowd and all that, and I think that was a bit of a relief for Canelo. I think it was like, okay, like I've got to him. Finally, 8 rounds in, and I've managed to get to him, because up until then it weren't plain sailing for Canelo. It was not having an easy time of things, like a lot expected, and Bill done us all very, very proud.
Various reasons for people not coming out of their corners or stopping in fights. You had Hara Davies getting a lot of heat when he fought Josh Taylor. You had Kell Brook getting a lot of heat when he fought Gennady Golovkin. You had Amir Khan getting a lot of heat when he fought Terence Crawford. And a word that's used, which I really hate, is quit. Did Billy Joe Saunders quit last night? Was Mark White to pull him out? What's your view on it?
Right. In my opinion, Bill didn't quit. No, I think he would have fought till the last breath in him was there. Looking back here, I think I was a bit muffled in the corner, but I'm pretty sure I heard Mark say, "Can you see?" To which Bill said no, and Mark turned around to the referee and waved it off. Now, yeah, Mark 1,000,000% right for doing that. I know Mark, I know Bill. Of course, he would never have wanted to do that, but there's another man's health at risk, another man's eyesight, another man's health, and let's have it right. If Mark was brave as Bill probably wanted to be, and let it go on for another round, like something absolutely terrible could have happened. Look, no one knows the extent of the injuries yet. I don't think there's been any official statement of what has actually happened. So, no, it's a bloody good call from Mark, and hats off to him, because he would have got an awful lot of stick if he would let that fight continue. Even if he would have let that fight continue and Bill managed to run and nick the fight and win it, then no, it'd have been the wrong decision. That's what a good corner's there for. Like, being in the corner, realistically, you should know the boxer better than they know themselves. And I know myself. We would rather die in that ring than quit. But that's why you have a corner team, to make them decisions for you. Because when you're pumping full of adrenaline, everything's on the line, you're not going to think straight. You're not going to think about your kids, what they've got to see on the telly the next day, or your family you've got to return to if you return to them. Because at the end of the day, people die in this sport. And very, very good call from Mark. Hats off to him.
I've known Mark for a number of years. Personally, I don't think he had any other decision to make except call the fight off. I think Billy was exemplary with the way he fought. I think Canelo is a pound for pound king, and I hope that there's no long-term damage to Billy's eye, and I hope a speedy recovery on that end. Post-fight, there's clips emerging of Chris Eubank Jr. celebrating the win, his 10 grand. What do you make of it?
Chris Eubank Jr. He's a div. He's a media whore. No one's talking about him. So instead of doing what Bill's doing and getting in there with the pound for pound best on the planet, what he can do is talk a lot of rubbish. Because how can you mock someone who's beat you? And like, I'm not making excuses, or that's not an excuse. But I know Bill didn't even train properly for the Eubank fight, because no one thought it was even going to happen. Bill didn't think it was going to happen. He didn't think he was going to turn up. He didn't. I'm lucky if he gives 60, 70% of himself into that fight and still beat him. He jumped in there with Groves, got beat. Every time he's in there with an elite fighter, he's been beat. He beat James DeGale, fair and square, but James will happily admit as well, James was a little bit past it. 3 or 4 fights before, and I don't think he'd have landed a glove on DeGale. But no, it's very disrespectful in that sense of terms. But that's the kind of person he is, and this is the same person that putting up videos of him chinning Taylor Jones when Tay had a handful of amateurs.
I remember that. Triple T Testy. Yeah, I remember Taylor Jones. I remember that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. Who films a bit of sparring and puts up a little clip of when you've done really well? It's disgraceful. It's again, this is a sport where people die. A lad died not too long ago in the Junior World Championships, and it does happen, right? And so there's no need for it. There's no place for it. There shouldn't really be a place for cameras filming putting someone into an ambulance afterwards either. Like, that seemed a bit WWF to me. So I mean, you're seeing after the fight and you're seeing Bill get put into an ambulance, thinking, mate, we don't even know what the injuries are. Like, something terrible could happen, but you're filming and going into an ambulance. But it is what it is. It's the fight game. We all know what we're getting ourselves into, and we still do it regardless, and we don't care. But it should be a bit more tactful of some people if they could just be a little bit more diplomatic with their criticisms afterwards.
It's been an incredible build up to the fight. Incredible fight week. Great fight. Boxing needs characters. I just hope that we've not seen the last of Billy Joe Saunders and he comes back and he fights again.
I really hope he comes back and fights again. Do you know what? If I'm honest, I hope, and I've been saying this to Bill for a while, I hope he goes back down to middle. He can make middle. I think he can make middle quite all right. But I'd like to see him jump back down to middle. There's still some massive fights out there with him.
He's got Tommy Jacobs at middle at the moment.
Yeah, so obviously he's going to avoid that. But there's the likes of Golovkin. I mean, the Golovkin fight would be a massive fight. Or if it's super middle, he could jump in there with Callum Smith. Be a massive fight. Like there's still some very big stadium fights for him.
I'd want to watch Chris Eubank Jr. Saunders, possibly more so for the build-up and the whole of that fight week than the fight itself.
Oh, definitely. Which I would like. I see he put a tweet out saying, "Canelo, if you want a Brit to give you a good," and I'm thinking, mate, you're tailor-made for Canelo. Bill give him problems because of his style. You come forward throwing a million punches, you're going to get sparked. Simple as that. It's I think John Ryder would destroy Chris Eubank Jr. And yeah, it's just disrespectful, and he's disrespectful. But you know, what else do you expect? Everyone knows what he's like, so it's what he does.
Well, I'm going to thank you for your time on a Sunday. Tommy Jacobs, hopefully we're going to see you in a ring in July. So time's ticking down. I'm sure we'll be around come your fight. I want to thank you for your time. I hope you have a good Sunday with the girls. Have a great weekend, buddy.
I will do. Well, listen, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but I did see Alfie Warren put on Instagram the other day about a show July 24th. So, who knows? Who knows? But listen, hats off to Bill. He's just gone and been in probably the biggest fight since Ricky Hatton Mayweather, in my opinion. So Klitschko and Fury was huge. Klitschko was the best heavyweight on the planet, but I don't think he was the best pound for pound. Hatton went over there and fought Mayweather, and I don't think there's been a bigger fight since. He's gone and got the record crowd for an indoor boxing event in America. We've not had a crowd of boxing for so long. 73,000 people there, whether they were booing, cheering, screaming, or whatever. 73,000 people united with this wonderful sport. And one of our countrymen went and put on a very valiant game, fantastic performance. And I've sent him a message this morning, and I'm sure he's going to be sitting there absolutely gutted. He's probably got a million messages on his phone. He won't go through them all, but let's hope he holds his head up high and recovers nice and quick and gets back out there and does us all proud once again.
Tommy, have a fantastic day, brother.